Hello everyone, this is Serious Trivia. Welcome back to the final match of round 1 of our subscriber game tournament season 3 as we're rounding out the last match here in Group E between Yanstein K.Kaku versus Baby Yoda. Now what's on the line here is the Group E winner, as if Yanstein K.Kaku win, he will have a 3-1 record, but that would also mean he will lose the head-to-head tiebreaker with S.A. Wangping, and this would give S.A. Wangping the win the group. And if Baby Yoda wins, then he would have a 3-1 record with a tie-break win over S.A. Wangping, who's already completed his game with a 3-1 record. And Baby Yoda would actually take the group here. So a lot on the line here, and we will get things started by looking at their composition. Looking at Yanstein K.Kaku's comp on the green side, we have Lu Bu, Wen Chou, and He Man. Powerful generals with Hail of Arrow, with a good roar ability, Dragon's Gaze from Lu Bu, and a couple of slam ability as well, especially with Wen Chou dismounts. And the unit choices are very solid too. 6 units of Unbreakable Yellow Sky Herald, 1 unit Protector Heaven, 1 unit of Heavy Z Infantry, and 5 unit of Xiliang Cav to support. Then for Baby Yoda's side, we have the Yuan combo with familial conflict between Yuan Shao and Yuan Tan. These are the 2 heavily armored members of the Yuan clan. 3 very fast charging yellow dragons, hard hitters, and Zhang Jiao with 6 units of Messenger of Heaven, 3 saber infantry, and 2 Z infantry to round things out. So pretty good comp on both sides. I think the cavalry favors Baby Yoda a bit, and the infantry favors Yanstein K.Kaku a bit. It all depends on how cleanly the yellow dragons get their charge off. The generals also kind of could go both ways depending on how the abilities are used. If Yuan Shao and Yuan Tan could dismount and get some time free hitting on any of the generals, it would definitely swing things in Baby Yoda's way. And maybe with Zhang Jiao being used properly as a bait, we could see some pretty interesting battle ahead. So let's check out things on the battlefield. And as we hop in here, we can see that Yanstein K.Kaku has deployed behind and immediately used surprise attack. So they are technically now in stock. The problem is you can get a glimpse of enemy units at the beginning, even if you use it right away. So I believe it's not going to be a complete surprise, but it will be an invisible army marching up. And we'll see if that does anything here. I think this is at least the second game we've seen Yanstein K.Kaku go for this sort of backward vanguard deployment. You can see the answer right away. They're looking for the enemy units. They can't really issue a charge command until they get up close, which could be a weakness. They see some unit and they all been sent the other way. They should keep going and actually charge the rest. Lu Bu could get a really good slam here, high value slam, because of how crowded this is. I think this is a bad idea. Yep, terrible idea. Basic gifting value, and then they're stuck here as the enemy cavalry countercharges. Oh, look how many got killed in Lu Bu's stand. So you can see all these empty horses are basically people that Lu Bu killed with 1 slam ability. That crowding really swung things, and then with Lu Bu's debuff and freezing them in place. Okay, so perhaps Stonebark would have been helpful. It did shoot a lot of their own cavalry in the back, so that actually swung things back. Very interesting. Let's see if we get some early dismounts. Zhang Jiao did lose a lot of health. You can see the Yellow Sky Herald and the Yellow Dragons going into each other. And you can see how fast the Yellow Dragon damage is doing. Getting the full flank. No dismount by the generals, which is surprising. Their advantage is on the dismount to go after the enemy generals, and they're not really being sent to do that right now. Fighting into enemy infantry. Lu Bu did get chunked a bit. He's been sent to fight a lot of the infantry fight. They should just get out of this. None of them have slam abilities. They don't need to be fighting unbreakable units. Just leave it to the infantry and move on. Yellow Dragon is now stuck in these long fights against unbreakable units. One has been maneuvered all the way around to charge these in the back, but it's really a waste of the generals at this point. Now the scattered fighting is actually kind of favoring the side for Yanstein, because Zhang Jiao doesn't have a good place to die to activate his bonus. Yuan Tan and Yuan Shao is coming here. Are they going to be able to dismount and do some damage? The extra attack speed really doesn't come into factor unless they dismount, and I don't see a dismount. Okay, there's a lot of Stoneborg usage opportunities that's not being taken advantage of. And they're just dead on chasing Lu Bu here, which makes sense given that he has a very easy accessible slam ability. The C-down cab being summoned back to attack Yuan Shao. As long as you kill one of them, you kill off the combo. But they're not really getting a lockdown on anyone, which is a problem, and the other generals have free time to do other things. They're just stuck fighting these, you know, invincible, well not invincible, but unbreakable units, and chasing the fastest enemy general instead of going for a slower one, forcing the fast one to come help. You're not going to catch the red hair. It's just a waste of time at this point. Okay, they switch targets. Okay, we're going for Heman. That's a better idea. But you still probably need to dismount. And Zhang Jiao should be sent after someone, because Zhang Jiao has speed, and I don't know if he's going to die here. It's going to be interesting if he's getting targeted at all, but at least he's forcing some combat. Just takes too long to kill everything, even they're favored. Ooh. Okay, the combo's gone. The combo is gone, so Yuantan's now kind of useless. Once again, Stoneborg could be a pretty good stop to any of these Hell of Arrow attempts. Just not being utilized correctly. Lu Bu still being alive is a factor. The roar being kicked in. Oh, it's going to rout some of the Saber infantry. That's actually huge. Yeah, the Yellow Dragon is decisively winning, but stuck on 5 guys. That's the bad part about this. The unbreakable unit's holding really long time. And they can't really help elsewhere. They're being sent against Ventral. Oh no, they're not. They've been sent against someone else. Now this dismounted fight without the attack speed bonus, not really going to matter here. Lu Bu's hunting down some infantry. It's going to be close. Zhang Jiao needs to somehow die by himself. Yuan should be mounted and running away. Zhang Jiao should be chasing. It might not matter. There were some really good hail of arrows being landed. Lu Bu's cleaning up some of the infantry. You can see Baby Yoda sending some of that infantry over to help. Ooh, okay, invincibility. That could swing things. If Yuan can get some hits in. I think Ventral's dead. They're trying to run them away during the invincibility timing. That's definitely a good idea. But Ventral's probably going down. Ooh, this might work. They kill the couple remaining Yellow Sky Herald. Does he have another? Oh, he can't use it now. Not against the 35 seconds of invincibility. Yuan probably need to mount. Right, these two can just outweight the situation. Sadly, army loss is not ticking yet. If they can kill... He's trying to find his horse, which is the right move, but there's only 15 seconds left, so that might not be enough time. And Lu Bu can just kite this out. 7.5 seconds. Does he have one more Hail of Arrow? Can we use Stoneborg correctly one time? Read the play. This is obvious. Click the button. No. No usage. Oh, there we go. Came in a little late. Took a little bit more damage than he had to, but that's basically the counterplay. Alright, a couple free hits, but the effect is gone. Ventral is also back. The army loss ratio is not significant enough for these two to suffer the -90, so they can still hang on here. 3 generals versus... Oh, he has a bow! Oh, he killed him with a bow! Ah, oh, sneaky. Ventral also has a bow. Yeah, they can farm this D-infantry for a little bit, and people can come in for a slam on the saber. He can actually roar again. I think he still has roars. Lu Bu has fear. Kicking in, you can see the morale collapse. Freeze them in place. Shoot the spear unit. Lu Bu gets a slam here. Well played. I think Heman had a lot to say with this result. Definitely played his Hail of Arrows really, really well. And unfortunately with 2 commander abilities, they only have 1 Stoneborg, because I'm pretty sure Ventral doesn't have it. Wasn't able to use it at the right time to protect the generals. And despite winning out on the unit side, couldn't really get things done with the general side. Zhang Jiao was played fine. I think that was not any problems. It was just hard to chase Lu Bu down. That was difficult target selection. I think Heman being targeted would probably been a little bit better. You want to find the slowest guy that you can possibly catch. But Yanstein played that perfectly. You know Yuan Shao and Yuan Tan has that combo. You don't get into combat with them. Just stay away. And that's the right play. So a great fight here to end our group stage. And with this win here, Yanstein K.Kaku is going to end the group stage at 3-1, and Baby Yoda is going to be 2-2. Now, Yanstein's record is 3-1, but it's not going to be tied for first because he lost the head-to-head against S.A. Wangping, who moves on ahead as the group winner. Yanstein K.Kaku is going to have a time of 45 minutes and 57 seconds, and that unfortunately is going to be the slowest time amongst all the 3-1 records, which means he will not be joining the others. In the top 8, his glorious kiting win in the first match he had with Peppa Pig Gaming was a masterful display of micro, but unfortunately a slow win time of 27 seconds really going to eliminate him from any chance of joining the top 8. And with this result set, our Group E is finished, and more importantly, we will now know who will be our final 8. And first, taking a look at the group winners, we have Sleeping Phoenix from Group A with 22 minutes and 13 seconds with a 3-1 record. Peanuts from Group B, 24 minutes with a 3-1 record. Lu Meng with 28 minutes and 30 seconds with a 3-1 record from Group C. Yulia with the only 4-0 record from Group D. And finally, S.A. Wangping with 49 minutes and 15 seconds. Now, the time is written here for the group winners because that will be used to evaluate their seeding in the top 8. Even though we see some slower times because of the head-to-head tiebreak in the case of Lu Meng over Beihai Butchers in Group C, as well as S.A. Wangping over Yanstein K.Kaku in Group E. And looking at the remaining players with 3-1 record and their time, we will see that Will Be Deed will qualify from Group A with 26 minutes and 26 seconds. That will be our second fastest time amongst the non-group winners. Beihai Butchers is going to take the fastest time at 16 minutes and 28 seconds from Group C, and finally Trivinicus squeezed in with 31 minutes and 42 seconds, and this will mean that Shogun Met from Group A, Zero from Group B, as well as Yanstein K.Kaku from Group E are all eliminated here. So we have our final 8, and they will be faced off in a best of 3 matchup according to the seeding, which is displayed here. And how round 2 will work is that each pair of players here will be playing in a best 2 out of 3 matchup, where the first 2 games will be an alternating siege battle, where one side will defend and then alternate to attack, and the higher seeded player will determine which side they want to start out on first. And the important part here is for these 2 matches, we will have a pick ban phase, where we see a similar setup in last year's tournament, as we'll have 3 bans for each player first alternating, and then a set of selections, another ban, another selection, another ban, and then the third general will be a blind pick between the 2 sides to add a little bit of surprise factor. And the idea here is to get some counterplay as well as some telegraph of what unit and generals one side might be likely bring, plan out your strategy beforehand, ban some generals you don't want to see, and just increase the strategy level of the games for these 2 siege battles. Now, if both sides are tied after the 2 alternating siege, the third match will be a blind pick on an open field on a very beautiful map that was selected by me, recommended by one of our Discord users. There's a beautiful waterfall on the map, and I can't wait to showcase it. So hope you guys enjoy this one, and look forward to seeing that pick ban phase in round 2 and see how these players perform in those siege battles. So until then, bye!